Welcome back to Cobra Vids, my part 2 of my furniture restoration project. In the previous part, you saw how I sanded everything down and I built some drawers and everything. Well, right now I'm using pre-stain wood conditioner by Minwax. It's what I've been putting on my wood before I stain it, and it really helps it absorb the stain in a uniform pattern. It opens up the wood pores, and it's exactly what this wood wants. And I just apply it with a foam brush, and I'll apply the stain with a foam brush as well, and I go with the grain. And the polyurethane glaze I'm going to add to it, I'm actually going to spray that. I'm going to spray that with my sprayer so that it goes on evenly and quickly. I don't want to have to keep recoloring. But anyway, so I'm just going to coat the entire dresser everywhere that I plan on putting stain and get it coated so that everything will be ready all at once. So I go through and stain everything one time. Due to the humidity level, this will take a while to absorb and to dry. It's okay, it's all worth it. This is going to be family heirloom quality after I'm done. Okay, so that's all that I'm going to do there. I'm going to focus on the drawers now. I'll go ahead and pause the video, restart it after this is set up. You want this to set up to where it's almost dry, and then you want to start applying your stain. This will dry almost back to regular wood. It's not a stain at all, it's just to open up the wood pores to allow it to absorb the stain. Okay, so now the conditioner has dried and everything, and now we just have to apply our stain. I started on the drawers already, but we're using a True Black number 274 stain, and I'm going to apply this with the brush also, just like I did the conditioner. Here we go. This goes on very dark, but from what I see on the drawers, it will just uncover the grain. And once it dries, it'll dry and show some of the grain. Okay, that's the side. Moving on now. Okay, now we're going to start wiping this down, start uncovering the color that it's going to be. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, we gotta use a cleaner area. That's the thing with stain. It's really dirty. It's gonna take forever to get the stain off my hand, but that's okay. Letting some scrubbing won't take care of it for me. It's actually turning out pretty nice. Once this dries out, the wood grain will show a little bit more. I'm trying to do this in the pattern that I applied it. Okay, so I'll do this side. Okay, so now we'll do the top. All right, guys, that's about it. That's how it's going to turn out. It'll show a little bit of the grain through. I know that's hard to see, but we'll just we'll let it dry now, and then I'll show you again, and then the grain will show through a little more. All right, guys, well, that is the staining process. We're all done for the night. As you can see, I got about a brush in so that the sides of the sides of the frame are covered. And see the grain peeking through. All right, guys, that's it for this segment. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll see if we have to restain it or if we can continue glazing. See you then. Okay, right now, a lot of the overspray is floating in the air around these drawers here. But I've done these drawers and the spray's turning out all right. We're gonna have to do a couple coats, but for the most part, I won't be able to show it to you because it's getting pretty bad in here. I got my respirator on, so don't worry, I'm not going to kill myself. Just going to get my air hose over here and start spraying. Hopefully you guys can see some of this. Okay, now we're on the next stage. As you all know, I've got a couple coats of clear coat on here and it's actually looking really good. There's some dust on it that I have to wipe down before I start the next stage. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some sanding, some very light sanding on all the surfaces. And that helped get some of the imperfections out of it. And then we will put another coat on and we'll keep building coats up until it is good enough. And there we are. And we have another drawer down there that's kind of an oddball. All right, guys, stay with us. We're going to do some sanding and get it going. Okay, I do not have a sanding block. I looked at the store when I was getting some more of my clear coat, but a small piece of 2x4 will definitely work in a pinch. Now I'm going to start on the drawers. And when I am sanding, I'm not taking the clear coat completely off. I am just taking down any imperfections. Sometimes when you're applying it, it gets little air bubbles trapped in there, and this will help smooth things out, and then the next few coats will lay on nice and smoothly. Okay, the only side left to do is this side here, and then I can bring my fine towel out here. See, there's a little run mark here that sanding will be able to take down. Okay, there we go. Okay, so after sanding, give it a good wipe down. And what we have is a semi-glazed surface that is nice and smooth. And the thing I don't want to do is go down so far that we're sanding off the stain. Okay, well, after the sanding, I recoated it, and a lot of the wood grain has really stood out. Of course, you can't see anything because it's a reflective mirror right now because it's wet. I got all the drawers reglazed. Everything is turning out beautiful. The sanding actually brought out a lot more of the wood grain. You can see a lot more of the wood grain. My son was saying something about it being too dark of a stain, but now we have some more of the wood grain coming out, which is going to look fantastic. I am very happy with how my first real big project has turned out. We'll come back in a little while and do a second coat. Okay guys, well, I've got a total of 6 coats of clear on this, and this is how it pretty much has turned out. There's just a little bit of the wood grain showing through. Let me see if I can get some of that on camera. It is dusty, so there's a little bit of wood grain showing through. Everything is nice and glazed and looking really good. So this will wrap up this project here. I got all the drawers. They are dusty, but everything looks really good. Nice smooth coat of clear on here, a polyurethane semi-gloss clear coat, and we're going to go ahead and get it moved in place. That'll be the last picture you see on this video. And 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, I hope you liked how it turned out. Keep in mind, I am not a professional carpenter, wood refinisher, but I do like to learn. So if you guys have any tips or hints that you can share with me for my next project, I would greatly appreciate it. But for now, this is the end of it. We have more furniture projects coming up, so if you haven't done so already, I say it all the time, subscribe, like the video, and please ring the bell so you'll see my next project as it unfolds. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you.